Last problem. Sliding window summation. For me, this was the easiest problem in this silver contest. There is unknown hidden binary string, and we are given some information. The information is about windows, so a sliding window. For each of them, we know the parity, the remainder, modulo 2, of the number of ones among the consecutive k bits. Also, in Olympiads, there are subtasks, right? And often, if you're stuck, you should try them. And both today and tomorrow, my plan is to talk about subtasks if it's an important step towards the full solution. Otherwise, I just go towards general observations and then the full solution. Okay. If you have a binary string, especially when we have unknown array, I like to think about it as series of underscores. And we know among consecutive, let's say those four, let's say k equals 4, we have the parity. Equivalently, we know the sum modulo 2 of this range, the sum of bits 0 or 1. Even equivalently, it's XOR. It's not needed to think about bits this way, but while solving this problem, I prefer to think about it as XOR of bits rather than the sum modulo 2. But you do you. Sum is also good. If you know this sum, and then you know the next sum, then you know that both use mostly the same bits, with one exception, the first one and the fifth one. So position 0 and position k. This is the only difference. If somebody tells you that the sum of the green range is something, let's say 0, and the sum of the yellow is 1, then it must mean that whatever bit was here, the one at there, the position k, is different. So this combination of two different pieces of information given about two consecutive ranges, it means that those two bits are different. Versus if both such ranges have the same parity of the sum, or parity of the number of ones, same thing, then it means that those two bits are the same. Because taking those 4 bits gives the same result as taking those 4 bits. Those 3 bits are common, so apparently taking this bit versus taking that bit is the same. So, and then this thing continues with something similar. If you know the sum here of this yellow range, and then we look at this blue one, we have a comparison of this bit versus this one. We know if it's the same or different. If we keep going like that, what we will get is for every bit, we will know if it is the same or different than the bit k positions later. So maybe here we know that it's the same as this position. The green, let's say, means same or equal. Same. Position, always it's position I and position I plus k. And then we have this information, maybe we know that this position versus this one is different. And we have all this information, this pair, this one, this one, this one, and so on. Now, if we just phrase it this way, it's a little bit chaotic. But similarly to the previous problem, we can observe here connected components. If we know the comparison of whether bits are the same or different of those two, we also know if the I plus k is the same as this plus another k. And then from this one, we know if it's the same as yet another plus k, and so on. Then this is one connected component. We know if bits at position 0, k, 2 times k, for each consecutive pair, we know if it's the same or different. And if I told you that or maybe let's use the same technique as in the previous one. If this is bit X, and this is the same, then we know it's also X. If this is different, then we know it's not X. If this is the same as previous, then it's not X. If this is the same as previous, then not X. If this is different than X, and so on, then you will know from this that maybe there are 30 bits equal to X and 25 not X. The task told us that we need to do what? I think maximize minimum and maximum number of ones. Well, okay, for minimum you use 25, for maximum 30. The number of ones. Yeah, that's it. If you want maximum number of ones, then X should be equal to 1, and then 30 things in total are equal to 1, and 25 will be 0. Or the other way around, you can set it to 0, and then this is the number of ones in this connected component, so among those positions. Then you can do the same logic for those. So A of 1 plus 2 times K, and so on. Generally, every group of indices with the same remainder modulo K will be one connected component. Okay, and there is one last thing. The thing is that we also, the information about green and red edges, so those comparisons of this versus that, they came from comparison of two consecutive ranges. But nothing we did guarantees that the very first range is correct. So we are given the very first sum modulo 2 of the first K bits, and what this green range, for example, represents is the following. If we know that this has good parity, then by comparing this range versus that one, we figured out what is the parity of the next bit compared to the 0th bit. But still we need to guarantee that this has good parity. Otherwise, what might be happening is by doing this and saying that we minimize or we maximize, we might allow situations where in order to maximize, let's say, the number of bits, this becomes 1, the very first bit, and it implies what is at this position, this position, this position. Then in order to, again, maximize the number of ones in the full string, I put a 0 here, and it implies those positions. Then maybe I put another 0 here, and those positions. And finally, maybe I put a 0 here, and it implies those positions. But maybe in the input, we were given information that this is even. But hey, it's not even. One of those bits needs to be changed into the other possibility. 1 into 0 or 0 into 1. One bit needs to be flipped into the other option. So when we look here at the 30 versus 25, I know that this is the better option for maximizing the number of ones, but I can flip my decision for the cost of -5 to the answer, and then it will be the opposite. So for each of those K first bits, I need to figure out the bigger number among the X and not X in its connected component. So among indices I plus K, I plus 2K, and so on. But also I keep track of by how much the answer drops if I decide to flip my decision. So maybe this will be, this will know information that by default I increase the answer by 30, but there is a possibility to use 0 here instead of 1, and then the answer will be 25. Then second position, maybe here by default the answer is 28, and I can do -1 if I flip, and so on. So if I flip this 0 into 1, then it flips all the other yellow positions, and then I will have 27 ones instead of 28. Then I need to look at the parity of this. So again, at each of those K positions, I chose the option X is 1 or 0 that gives me more ones in total. And then if the parity doesn't match the required parity of the first range, I need to do one of those flips, the one where I lose the list. So the drop closest to 0. So let's work with positive values. Here the answer drops by 5, by 1, and so on. Choose the minimum of them. And by that much decrease the answer. That's the end of the solution. So summary, so that we would know from the beginning what we're doing. When you compare the first range to the second range, the information whether their sums modulo 2 is the same or not gives you information whether the first bit and the bit at position k are the same or not. Always comparing two consecutive ranges, you get information about the interaction of indices I versus I plus k. This gives you connected components. For each of k initial indices, you can keep jumping to the right by plus k, and you will know comparison if new bit is the same or different than previous one. By pretending that the first such bit is x, this is the bit among the first k bits, you can express all the others in its connected component as x or not x, count both, and let's say to solve the maximization of the number of ones, we choose the maximum of the two values. And it would be great if the answer was just the sum among the first k bits, the sum of the better option, the one maximizing the number of ones in the string. But we also see what value of x, 0 or 1, leads to this bigger value. And we put the value that gives us, that puts us there, we put it here on the corresponding index. So similarly, we'll put something here, something there. And you check, once you put it on the first k slots, we check if the sum of the first range is even or odd, correctly, whether this information matches what was given in the input. If not, then one of those bigger numbers, like 30 is bigger than 25, we need to change into the smaller number so that the parity would change. And only a single change is enough. So among all the possible drops, like from 30 to 25, there is a drop of 5. We choose the smallest drop, and we decrease the answer by that much. That's how we maximize the number of ones. Minimizing number of ones is same, but we take minima and we increase the answer instead of decreasing. Everything here is linear, so time complexity of n. No, you at some point take minimum of some values. You don't need sorting for that. It's just iteration to find minimum. And that's, I think, the last problem. Time for questions if you have some. And reminder that tomorrow, same time, we will have gold and then platinum. The goal is to do it in 1 hour each. We'll see how that goes. So yeah, gold will be the first hour, and after 1 hour, we will start platinum.
Yes, friendly reminder, because this is ASCAP the first time to host the platinum level solution. So welcome students to join us and learn more from the experienced competitor and Coach Camille.
Yep. I will see how the platinum goes. It's always hard to discuss difficult problems before the official editorial, because there is always a high risk of skipping some solution because I don't know about it, and smaller chance of just making mistakes. But you know, it happens. We'll see how it goes.
Okay, I think no more question from the YouTube as well.
Right. Then thank you everybody for attending today. And yeah, for example, in the Discord USACO unofficial server, you can find the statements if you want to read gold and platinum problems before tomorrow. So thank you, everybody. Have a good day or a good night, and see you tomorrow, same time.
Thanks. Bye, everyone.
Bye.